Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can get yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing. End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. There we go. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Bengals at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot. Find a way to win some games and keep moving forward.
One more time. Gun. Gun. 11 empty.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. Mixing up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On third down, Burrow. Airing it out deep for Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Inside handoff to Mixon. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Touchdown! T. Higgins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by McPherson. Up and good. It's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Connor. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tanner Conner, 32 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
18 more yards there and another first down. A handoff running left, Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Here we go, here we go.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. There he goes, right side. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Sanders on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. No run back here for Jones. A touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that.
Here we go.
And maybe they get this game tied up.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7.
Gun.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. He's got Higgins over the middle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
First down there for T. Higgins. Don't let it be lost in Jamar Chase's phenomenal season. The Higgins had a big year for Cincinnati as well. Topped the 1,000-yard plateau for the first time, and he did it despite missing a few games with injuries. The third-year man could give Cincy a pair of Pro Bowlers at the position here in 2022.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Brandon Jones picking it off. 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
Jake Bailey set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now Burrow on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 along alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Mahomes firing complete. And some room to roam now. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They go play fake. Mahomes.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
On one, right?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of this. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
On play action, it's Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. Caught by Wilson.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me. But subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And that is incomplete here.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
On 2.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. To throw, it's Mahomes. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain there of 21 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have opened the lead up to 30. And, oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here for Jones. A touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home and to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here. Yeah,
you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Burrow will throw.
And he comes back with one complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That was a nicely run slant route. What the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell. And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On one, ready?
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here's Burrow. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And they'll work this down inside the 30. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
That one goes for 24 yards. Now it's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side.
Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. The drive starts with a completion left side. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They go play action. Now Mahomes. They're going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 65 yards. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the 1st down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. 11, Thomas.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
11, 11, 11, 11.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow, and he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Gun, gun. Gun.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. This will be caught at about the 5. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the... And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Dolphins, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.